John Healey joins me now. Mr. Healey, thank you very much indeed for your time this morning. The government's reset this week's gone terribly badly wrong. Morning. Angela Rayner has now resigned. I think the public is looking at this government thinking it's in complete chaos and crisis. It is, isn't it?
No, on the contrary, what's happened this week is that Angela Rayner has found she's broken the ministerial code. She's taken the decision to resign. That's the right thing to do, and it's a reflection of the higher standards that Keir Starmer has insisted on in public life, the strength of the independent advisor and the toughening of the ministerial code.
Hang on a minute.
These things always happen in government. The question is how you deal with them, and we've seen clean, swift, fair action taken, although it does mean that we've lost Angela Rayner, and I have to say any government is stronger if Angela Rayner is in it.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to just disagree with you on a couple of points there. Why does a former director of public prosecutions, a top lawyer, need to take legal advice on whether or not a deputy prime minister who's admitted to avoiding tax should or shouldn't be fired? Not only has he got legal training, but he's also, as he says himself, the son of a toolmaker, somebody who wants to lead a government of service. You've got his right-hand woman having admitted to avoiding tax at a time when this government is preparing to put up all of our taxes, including on property. He didn't need to take any advice. Any person watching GB News could have advised him that she needed to go, and he didn't sack her. What does that say about his capacity to lead this government adequately?
So he toughened the rules, he raised the standards, he strengthened the independent advisor, he had that advisor do the job to establish the facts, and that was done within 2 days.
The Telegraph had established the
facts. It led.
As a journalist, I always need to remember more in less time. And you know what I really hate? Taking notes. It wastes loads of time and you forget stuff. And that's where Plord comes in. This is the Plord Note, a sleek, pro-level AI note taker that records and creates notes for you. Whether you're listening to a long podcast, stuck in a meeting, or on an important call, Plord captures everything at the tap of a button. Then it gives you a smart, structured summary with all of the key takeaways. It even recognises different speakers by their voice, and you can choose from bullet points, to-do lists, or even mind maps. Your data's safe too, with end-to-end encryption and global privacy compliance. And with Plord's built-in AI, you can search everything you've ever recorded just by asking a question. It's slim, magnetic, under 30 grams, lasts up to 60 days on standby, and over 1 million people are already using it. Hit the link in the description and use code GB10 for £10 off your Plord order. Save hours of time and never miss a detail again. Link in the description below.
Well, it's important that there was an independent process to do that. It was important it was swift. It was. It was important that Angela Rayner respected the judgment, and she did, and she resigned. And now what Keir Starmer has done now is to use this to reshuffle his cabinet, to say to us all, you've got to go up a gear now in order to demonstrate the delivery that we've done over the last year can be taken further. And so on defence, you'll have seen in the last week the fact that we have won the biggest British warship contract ever. That's pumping £10 billion into the British economy, 4,000 jobs secured for the next 15 years, and you'll see more of that tomorrow when we launch the Defence Industrial Strategy, boosting British jobs, British innovation and British businesses right across the UK.
Tim Montgomery and I have just praised you for that contract. Actually, nobody seems to have any criticism of you in your role. But what I will say is this. The public sees the Prime Minister on Monday tell everybody how great his Home Secretary Yvette Cooper is. We're smashing the gangs. We're stopping the boats. By Friday, she's out of office. Shabana Mahmood has come in. Everyone's been switched around on this ministerial merry-go-round. It doesn't inspire confidence, does it? For the Prime Minister on Monday to say everything's going swimmingly well, I don't really have to reshuffle, and by Friday having teared up the entire contents of his cabinet papers.
Well, on Yvette Cooper, we've seen in this last year some important progress. 35,000 people deported from this country, higher than before, because they've got no right to be here. More than 300 raids on criminal networks by the National Crime Agency. And now, for the first time, illegal immigrants held, detained and ready to return to France because of what Yvette Cooper has been able to negotiate with the French government for the first time. So Shabana Mahmood has a lot more to do, and this will become a whole-of-government effort, not just something for the Home Office. And you'll see Keir Starmer say, look, military planners are now in alongside the Home Office, in Border Command, and also looking at sites. Sites that are military, sites that are not military, that may allow us to accelerate the closure of these expensive asylum hotels.
OK, do you know how many people crossed the Channel illegally on Saturday?
I heard the number yesterday was about 1,000.
It's 1,096, as confirmed by Mark White, our Home Affairs editor. In what world is that smashing the gangs and stopping the boats? It's just all hollow rhetoric.
No one part of this will solve the problem. It requires action on the gangs, action on the boats, action on processing any claims, action on negotiating agreements to return those who have no right to be here to other countries. We started to do all that. Good progress in the first year, but so much more to do.
But you must admit, John Healey, come on, you're an honest broker here. We've had 23 resets of this government since Keir Starmer took power in various different guises. We've got this reshuffle, a sort of panic reshuffle in desperation. What does it say about the government? That what's been going on? You can't possibly be telling the GB News audience that the first year of Labour has been a success. It's been a succession of U-turns and disasters, hasn't it?
I have to tell you, I'm proud to have been part of what this Labour government has done in its first year. 4 million more NHS appointments, 500,000 more kids now getting free school meals, 3 million low-paid workers with a pay increase because of what we've done with the living wage. I was able to bring in the biggest armed forces pay increase for more than 20 years, and we're putting the biggest increase into defence spending now since the end of the Cold War. And we're doing this both to keep the country more secure, but also to make defence an engine for growth. You will see that. I've announced today the biggest skills defence programme for decades, and you'll see more tomorrow when we announce our plan to make Britain the best place to invest and grow a defence business.
I get it, John Healey. You're on a difficult broadcast round this morning after a disastrous week for the government, and I get the accentuation of the positive. Let's just look at some other figures. YouGov polling from August about Chancellor Rachel Reeves. How many people approve of what she's been doing? 16%, 1/6. Why wasn't she reshuffled out? The budget has been greeted with disdain by economists and businesses alike. We're now set for more tax rises. There's a giant, apparently, according to one think tank, £50 billion black hole in the budget of the Chancellor's making, and yet she's the one person who's safe from the reshuffle? What's going on here?
Rachel Reeves has been the foundation for many of the decisions taken over the last year. She's also been responsible for the stability that's seen the Bank of England cut interest rates 5 times in the last year, the rise in real wages, and as I say, the ability to give the lowest paid, 3 million of them, a double-digit increase in the living wage. These are
1 million more people on benefits without having to work in the last year. Talk of an IMF bailout. How on earth can you say the economy isn't growing and you're telling us it's all going swimmingly economically? Are you living in a parallel universe, John Healey?
People are starting to feel, but not yet convinced, that the cost of living pressures are relieving. They're starting to see action in the economy, and it's actually the case that Britain was the fastest growing G7 economy in the first 6 months of this year. So there is growth back in the economy after a decade of stagnant growth, but it needs more done on economic growth, and defence has got a big part to play, and I'm determined that we do that.
John Healey, well done on defence, well done on that contract. Thank you very much indeed for joining me this morning.